During the 2024 tour of TREEBARD, when we were showing all the features that we could think of to show, we had problems with save as, save copy as, and rename, all of which had something to do with images, but we didn't make any attempt to analyze or solve the problem at that time, just put it on the do list. So let's go ahead and try to save the sample tree as a different name. Let's call this save as 01. And there's the error that we were getting before, and this seems to have something to do with images. Image not found. So it's trying to open an image for a place. Show top pick. It's trying to show a picture here. So in 825, show top pick place. And there's a mistaken reference of some kind. First thing let's do is go to the File Explorer and just look for this. See if it's actually missing. If not, then we'll dig into the code a little bit. No images. The images were not actually copied when the tree was copied. Let's look at the save as function and see what it was supposed to do with the images. It created the folder. It created the database. So this function handles both save as and save copy as. This was recently rewritten, so it's possible that I just forgot to copy the contents of the images folder. If the mode is save copy as, we'll do that next. And if the mode is save as, either case we're making a tree. I would like to make this explicit instead of saying else. I don't see any evidence that we actually tried to copy that image file, which is good. That means we just need to add a little code instead of fixing code is broken. Make tree is a very popular function here in this module. It's used to do several different things. The only difference between save copy as and save as, the main difference is save copy as you're making the tree but you're not opening it, and in save as you're making the tree and switching to it and turning off the original. So normally in make tree, you are creating that images directory, but I don't think you're putting anything in it. Now we're talking about images right here. What are we saying? We're saying make a folder, make a directory. So we want to go down here and add code that will copy the contents of the images folder into the images folder of the new tree. And we're going to do that right here. It'll be done the same way for save copy as it is for save as. So we'll open up the internet and we'll ask Google this question right here. This is starting to look like the right answer to me. This looks nice and simple. This will fail if the destination directory already exists, which it does. So we want to say does exist OK equals true, and then it works. Oh, look. There doesn't seem to be anything particularly difficult about this. It wouldn't be very hard since I've done it before. So the source directory for the images is going to equal some string. And the destination is going to equal some string. We're going to go like that. And like that. And we're going to get these strings right, and it's going to work. What we want is tree path plus an images directory. Print some stuff in case we get a mistake. I'm assuming that this is the path to the current tree, because there has to be a tree open for this to be used. So that should be correct. This is going to be current drive, TREEBARD, data. In either case, up here, we're returning a new tree ID, which is that directory name that we're looking for right here, because the family tree table in TREEBARD.db, our global database that refers to all trees, uses that directory as primary key. I believe that's going to be correct. But in case it's not, then we'll see what's wrong with it if we print this. Let's clean out the database. Let's just get rid of everything except sample tree. This is an important skill you need to have in order to be a TREEBARD developer. Know what you can do here and what you have to do here. You never delete sample tree, never delete settings. These can be deleted if you know how to do it. And that's what we're doing right now. We're doing this manually. We're going to get rid of both of those. That's number 2. Number 3 is delete this. And when all that happens, then it thinks that the last prior tree was sample tree, because we told it that it was in the config.txt. Save as 02. Same problem. 825 is where the error actually occurred. Oh, 825 in places. This is the show top pick place. Show top pick place is, this is the top pick, but this is the top pick in place. We're in sample tree, so obviously it works in sample tree, but that doesn't mean anything. It doesn't work here in our new tree. Possibly the problem is that the images file is being copied too late, because you got to think about when stuff happens too. This is a bad line. See if that prints when we do this. Save as 04. TREEBARD data, save as 04, images. It's trying to refer to an image, but the image has not yet been copied into the images folder. The images folder is still empty. We're doing the copying of the images too late. Make tree ran way up here. We were not copying images make tree because I forgot to do it when I rewrote these perfectly good functions, which I tested with trees that had no images and forgot to test them with trees that had images. This code belongs in make tree. Just put it in there, because if there is no images to be copied, as is the case with a tree that's being made brand new as opposed to copying from some existing tree, there's no images to be copied, but that shouldn't cause a problem. It just copies what's there, and if there's nothing there, it doesn't do anything. So I'm going to put this in make tree. This is where we do the copying, making directories, taking care of paths, file names. Let's try putting that right here. Saving sample tree as save as 05. New tree ID. New tree ID is created in make tree. It's returned from make tree. In make tree, it's called tree ID. Sample tree 06. The system cannot find TREEBARD data images on line 724. Tree path printed as TREEBARD data, so this would be TREEBARD data images. This is wrong. Pretty sure we're missing this. Tree ID, saving sample tree as TREEBARD data, save as 07 images. The error now is on 820 like it was before. TREEBARD data, save as 07 images. I don't think that's right. Look, TREEBARD data, save as 07 images. dir source and dir dest are the same. Source is supposed to be the sample tree, not save as 07 here, but sample tree right here. So the problem is in this line right here. Tree ID here is the tree that's being made, but we're copying something. What is copy this? That might be sample tree, since that's what we're copying. This is going to fail, but I want to see what prints. copy this is TREEBARD data sample tree, sampletree.tbd. So we do have access to something we need. I have to extract it from this string right here. In order to extract sample tree from copy this so that we can use it right here, let's call this copied tree ID. Copied tree ID equals copy this, split on the slash marks, and that's going to be 0, 1, 2, 3. Index 3. Getting a better feeling about this. It opened and there are no errors. And the pictures are there. This didn't colorize right. What if I redraw the table? If it ain't one darn thing, it's another. You know what I mean? It's not perfect, but it's a start. That's a separate issue. Next thing we have to do is we have to test save as copy, which probably already works. Looking in TREEBARD.db, I see two things about this that's interesting, in spite of the fact that it's working. In regards to that colorization problem, I just realized, why isn't it just going in there as color scheme number 1 anyway? We don't have to copy the color scheme when we copy the tree. So that's a good question. We could just figure out how to put that in as 1 instead of copying sample tree's color scheme 2. That would keep us from having to solve that little problem why the families table didn't colorize right. Let's take care of this little situation about the colors. I don't know why this is important. Save as. It shouldn't really be concerned with color schemes at all. Let's just delete this. Then it won't put a color scheme in at all. And the default color scheme will be 1. I can actually open this now. That one's still a color scheme, but we're going to copy it and it's going to have just your basic brown. And we're going to do this time like one would expect somebody to do, because they're going to say Smith family tree and not use underscores. See, this is the default color scheme right here, and it's going to come out that color. Copy tree ID 716. I must have deleted something, so I'm going to go Control Z a few times until I get it back. I was just deleting a bunch of junk. There, see, I deleted this by accident. It's the right color. Color scheme number 1. But now we have a little problem here. Just a tiny oversight on 1153. Let's just do this. That should fix it. Save as 12, title's right, no errors this time. It's the right color, and I'll show you why I did all that extra stuff. Tree ID, also that directory and file name, is not the same as the title, and I think that's better. That's how it's supposed to work. Now we have to test save as copy. Oh, that's right. It doesn't open. I'm sitting here waiting for it to open, but it doesn't open. That's why they call it save as copy. There's that. There's that. There's your images. Looks perfect so far. Let's see if it opens. Save as copy. Very nice. Rename tree. Unlike save as, rename tree is going to copy the current tree and then delete the current tree and open the new tree. To the user, they're just renaming the tree, but there's a lot more to it than that. We're actually copying the current tree and deleting it, and then we're keeping the copy by the new name. All this does is it copies the current tree to a different file name and deletes the old tree. We already know we can save as, which copies a current tree and opens it and closes the old one. Well, instead of closing the old one, we want to delete the old one in rename tree. So this code should be deleted. It should be replaced by save as, and then I should tweak save as, because save as now works right. We just fixed that, and I've tested it multiple times today and it works fine. So what I should do is I should get the code out of save as and just put it right here. Delete this code. Don't want to look at it anymore. Tired of it. I don't like it. Tell you what, I'm glad I did save as first, because now I got me a basis for doing something. What I'd really love to do is put if mode equals rename. Why shouldn't that be possible? Let's just keep it in mind for later. I changed my mind. I'm just going to stop calling rename tree, and instead I'm going to do this. TREEBARD mode, I'm going to do this. This is the right way to do it. Look here, we've got a situation. TREEBARD and mode. Tree, dub. Dub's not being used there. Get rid of dub. Not being used there. Dub's being used here. Instead of calling rename tree, we're going to call save as, just like we did here and here. And we need to add mode. Mode equals rename. Mode. Now we want to make sure that we have tree, dub, TREEBARD, main, and mode as named parameters in save as. So we want dub and main to be optional. I don't think you'll find rename or save copy as in very many family tree programs. Nothing hard about it. This is going to be the right way to do it. Save as makes a copy of an existing tree and closes the old one and opens the copy. Rename is so very similar to that. Rename is going to make a copy of the existing tree just like save as does, and then open it just like save as does. And then instead of closing the current tree, it's going to delete the current tree. And we've got a whole function for deleting a current tree. We can just run that. So I want to really stick close to this model. So let's just copy this. Let's just copy this. And this. And now, when you run rename, you should get identical results as save as. We want to delete the tree that we copied instead of closing it. Let's just run it and see what happens. We're going to open up this one because we don't want to rename the sample tree. It'll get deleted if it works. All right, we'll be able to switch to other people and look at pictures and stuff. Now, what is wrong with that? Doesn't that just beat all? Let's look at the database, see what we got. Select everything from family. I'll tell you why I didn't do that before. It just occurred to me. When I wrote rename tree, delete current tree wasn't working. Wasn't close to working. Rename 01. The other one is gone. The one that we replaced it with. I think this worked. Good golly, Miss Molly. Let's see what we have in the... Oh, look at that. It deleted the other tree. It's got images. It's got content in the database. Same size as the other database. That was so easy. That's what I wanted to do last time, but delete current tree was not ready. This time, delete current tree is freshly updated code. This movie's over. Next movie's going to be hopefully a little bit simpler because it's getting on towards 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I've been doing this all day, and the next movie is going to be about easy stuff, hopefully. This was easy too, except that I made it hard for about 2 hours. Let me tell you something. This movie, the raw version of it, I'm just getting ready to turn it off and stop recording. But the raw version of this movie is 2 hours and 17 minutes. And I'm going to predict that the final version, after I edit out all the making it hard stuff, casting about in the dark stuff, error-driven programming stuff, I predict it's going to be a 33-minute movie when I'm finished. All right? Oh, boy. Okay. Thanks for showing up. This here's Professor UD Guru, and I'll be coming to you again in just a minute. I'm going to come back and make another movie. Thanks for dropping by. I'll see you in the next movie.